Hello folks, and welcome to yet another Richard Head Longbows video, the channel that helps you make bows and arrows, or at least make content about bows and arrows. We need not be as useful as some people say, or maybe we're really useful. We'll leave that, or not. We'll leave that up to you. But we are talking about some misconceptions today. This has come about really because of people, when they order arrows, don't necessarily know all the information that they need to know, and there's one or two sort of key ones that keep coming out, perhaps mistakes people make.
Yes, I mean, first of all, we ask them the draw weight of the bow, which is generally marked on the bow, and let's imagine it's 50 pounds at 28 inches. So if you draw a full 28 inches, you're drawing 50 pounds, or at least that's what it says on the bow. If you're able, it's worth checking it, because we've done this with customers recently who've come back and say, oh yeah, no, it's not 50 pounds, it's only 48. Not a huge difference, but it can make a difference in the selection of spine, the flexibility of the shafts to match the bow, because as you appreciate, arrow has to bend around the bow and doesn't want to be too stiff. We also ask them, of course, what the draw length is.
Yes. So pounds is the amount of force you're holding with your fingers when you draw back the bow, and draw length is
determined by the length of your arms, really, and where you're drawing to on your face. So if you're drawing to traditional target style, under the chin like this, a lot of people will say, oh yeah, no, I'm drawing 29 inches. Say, right, have you had that checked? Oh yes, I've had that checked. Right, how did you do it? Oh, I drew up a bow. I said, what bow was it? Oh, it was a recurve bow when I was shooting. No.
Or a light beginner's bow.
I said, with the long bow, the draw length will be different. I said, best to go get a measuring arrow if you can, and I made this one out of just an ordinary shaft, knock on the end, and then marked off in inch distances, starting at 24, could be anything. You could use an old arrow, just measure it from the bottom of the nock slot down to whatever positions you want, and just mark with a pen on the shaft, so that when you put it in the bow, and we say, right, stand with the bow with someone beside you if you can, like Philip is here.
Stand out of the way.
You put the arrow in the bow, obviously, and turn it so that you can actually see the inches marked on the bow, and then draw it back. So go this way, you should be able to see what's happening. Draw the bow, make sure you're not pointing it somewhere dangerous.
Don't do it indoors.
You're not. No, I've shot an arrow through the wall once. So you draw it back and just do it 2 or 3 times until you're comfortable.
So I'm seeing it's there.
Which is what?
Okay, that was 26.
26. So that's do it a couple of times.
Same again, a little bit less, so just under 26 that second time.
So we'll.
Now it's 25 and a half.
So we round that up to 26.
Yeah. So the body gets a little bit tired each time.
If you do it a couple of times until you're comfortable. You're not trying to overdraw. So you're drawing 26 inches. So if it was 50 pounds at 28 and you're only drawing 26, you're probably losing perhaps 4 or 5 pounds. You might only be drawing 45 pounds. And that means the selection of the shafts, we would select a much whippier shaft. But we wouldn't make the arrow 26 inches long. Some people, very experienced archers, would like to feel the pile of the arrow coming onto their hand, so they know they've drawn that dead length every time. But you've got to be pretty experienced to do that.
Yes, because not many people would do that.
You don't want to be a bit enthusiastic, pull it too far, let it go and stick an arrow through your hand. So it's normal to have perhaps a couple of inches longer for safety, if you're comfortable with that. Advantage is if you hit a target leg, break the pile off, it's still long enough to fit a new pile and be able to shoot it safely. If
you haven't got the measuring arrow, you don't need an arrow with measurements written on it. Just someone else, like I was doing there, to see where you're drawing to and perhaps mark the arrow with a pen. Or we can use the peg technique. So you put the peg onto the arrow, and where you draw the string, as long as it's on the back of the bow, the peg will move and then you can measure from the bottom of the slot,
Ooh, that's
knock slot
clever.
to the peg.
That's clever.
That's clever, isn't it? That's clever. All the technical things
That's
you're learning
clever.
here
Wow.
will help you do that. So if you're on your own, there are ways of doing it if you're on your own.
And that's a nice old-fashioned wooden.
That is it. You have to get
that made of you.
Gypsies will sell you these. Those kind nice. You're not allowed to say that on YouTube. I expect you've been censored for saying gypsies.
We've had it.
People who live an alternative lifestyle may make you one of those clever arrow draw length measuring devices, clamps.
This is good. This is good. Yeah, we learn something all the time.
So a lot of people don't know what the weight of their bow is. A lot of people don't know what their draw length is. They will tell us they do. They will say, yes, I know what my bow is, I know what my draw length is. As Richard said, if we tell them these methods and explain them to them, they go away, do them. Often as not, they find out they were wrong.
Yeah.
And that they're very surprised.
Yeah.
So that usually means if they've already got a set of arrows, the arrows don't match the bow, because A, the bow might be wrong, B, their draw length isn't what they thought it was. The set of arrows they ordered were based on an error in the measurement of the bow, an error in their draw length, and a lot of people who also perhaps are new to the sport or don't know what they're ordering will have arrows that are the full shaft length, so 30 to 33 inches long, which ruins any of the maths that we've just done. So those are the key points. Once you've got your draw length, you can measure everything else. So we've worked out our draw length, so that means we can now weigh that bow that we've got at our draw length and not what's just marked on the bow. So this bow, let's say, what is this, this is 26, so this is for a 26 inch draw, and it says it's 47. This is an old bow, so don't know what it is now. So what we can do is we can measure this one and see what this actually weighs up at. So we've got our weighing scales here. They're electronic ones. Your club may have some, or a friend may have some if you want to borrow a set. Just let it zero itself. So we've got it on pounds here, and we're just using the hook that comes with the actual scale here. So I'm going to draw this back. Probably means bashing into the camera. All the way down to 26 if I can. Ugh. There we are. So what was that, Dad?
That's 45.97, so 46.
46 pounds rounded up. So that's not bad for a bow that was made, nearly 20 years ago. It's lost a pound.
You made that one. I'm going to come back and complain.
A whole pound, everybody. So that's not bad. So if your draw length is 26, then that bow is pretty much what's marked on it. So it's 47 at 26. But using this method, as you may have noticed, unless you're Abu Hamza, you haven't got hook fingers. You'll probably use 3 fingers like most people do. So let's try this simulated 3 fingers device, which also people who live an alternative lifestyle may be able to make you one of those.
I made it out of an old coat hanger.
So because he has an alternative lifestyle.
Can't hang the clothes up anymore.
No, that's when coat hangers are coat hangers. Look at that, everybody. The size of that thing is so enormous. What coat hangers? What were you hanging on that?
Look at the fingers you've got. Anyway, right, so we put that on there as if we were going to draw the bow. Let's see what we get now.
So what we're simulating or emulating
is your 3 fingers.
Is the width of your fingers actually pulling on the string. So what was it before? 46 rounded up?
Rounded up, 46.
Okay, so we've zeroed it. Let's see if I can do this one now.
That's
47.03. So it's gone up about, roughly a pound and a bit-ish. So it may not seem like a huge difference, and it will probably vary from bow to bow what differences. We've used this a lot over the years, testing it on bows, and sometimes it can make £2 difference, or as much as 3. So it's just something to bear in mind.
Try it again, just there.
So a bit further out.
Where your fingers are. See if that makes any difference.
Definitely zeroed.
still 47.
47.
Yeah, so it's still about a pound.
Yeah,
About a pound
pound
difference.
at most. But it makes a difference. If you're someone who's really trying to get accurate, matched arrows to the bow, again, working out what the bow actually is vital. If you don't do that, all the other maths are just going to go out the window.
Yeah.
So these are just a couple of the things that people, when they're coming to us to order a set of arrows, or even a bow, obviously this works in reverse. If you want to order a bow and you don't know what your draw length is, then we make you a bow that's made to, you tell us it's 28, but you actually only draw 26. You're not going to be drawing the bow to the full capacity, its full benefit of the length that it's been made to. Also not the weight that it's been made to. So if we then make you a set of arrows to go along with the bow based on the draw length you've told us, then you're not going to get the full benefit out of it. So it's worth bearing in mind. It's worth testing your draw length and testing the weight of the bow at your draw length, and not just relying on what it says on the bow.
Yeah, and then your draw length should dictate the length, the physical length of the bow as well.
Yeah.
You've only got a short draw length, you don't want a bow that's over 6 foot long.
Yeah.
You just don't get the full performance out of it.
Yeah. So you could end up, say, even if the arrows matched the bow, but your draw length is less, you may have overlong arrows. You're trying to push arrows through the air that are much heavier than they need to be, because you might have 3 or 4 inches of arrow hanging over the end, which for people who have contacted us about not quite being able to reach the clout, a customer commented on our video about reducing the height of feathers. They said it made all the difference.
Yeah.
A really small change to the arrow can make a great deal of difference. But getting the basics right, as we've just described here, is going to make all the difference. So hopefully that was useful. Hopefully that's cleared up some things. But of course, not everyone on the planet is going to see this video unless it goes massively viral. Ooh. So lots of people are still going to have this problem. So if you still see people with this problem, let them know about this video, or just pass on the information, and hopefully they'll be able to order their arrows and their bow correctly. If we've missed something out, which I'm sure we have, please do shout at us in the comments below. If you liked what you see here, please do watch more, or click the subscribe button, which is probably covering his face now. Or as I say, this video, which is probably covering my face. And see you again.
That's it. Good.
Yeah, bye.